Hi and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a mini barbecue chicken pizza. So first we'll go over our ingredients for the crust, for the pizza dough, and then we'll talk about our toppings. So I have some bread flour, some warm water that's about 112 degrees, olive oil, some dry yeast, kosher salt, and sugar. And for our toppings I have some shredded chicken, barbecue sauce, sliced red onion, some mozzarella cheese, and some cheddar cheese. So the first thing we'll do is get the crust together to get that proofed, and then we'll worry about getting the toppings situated to add to our pizza. So the first thing we're going to do is develop our yeast. So in the warm water, you're going to add your dry yeast. After you've added in the yeast, you're going to mix it together to make sure that every little bit of it gets wet. We want it to develop, and we want it all to develop at the same time. Now that it's nice and mixed, we're going to put it to the side. And in the flour, I'm going to make a small little well in the middle, and we're going to add in the olive oil. Okay, so now our flour's pretty crumbly with that olive oil in there. We're going to take our developed yeast and add the sugar and the salt to it. We're going to mix it together, and then we're going to add it to our flour and olive oil mix. You're going to keep mixing this around until it actually comes all together. And I know it's a little bit sticky, but it'll be fine. I assure you it's going to come together, and it's going to clean this bowl. So we've just about got all the flour mixed in to our pizza crust, but we have a little bit more that needs to get absorbed, so we're going to keep mixing. And that looks great. So this amount of dough will make about six 6-inch mini pizzas. So we're going to take this dough and cut it into 6 parts. Of course, I'm going to use a dough cutter for that. So all the pieces are the same size. So the next thing you're going to do is take your pieces and kind of stretch them out. We're going to need them a little bit more. We want them to be formed into these beautiful, smooth little round balls. Now we have our perfect little ball. We're going to take a bowl and add just a little bit of olive oil to it. So no more than maybe 2 teaspoons. Because we're going to use our dough ball to get that olive oil all over the bowl. And you want oil all over your pizza crust. So once we actually let it proof, it's not going to stick to the bowl and it won't stick to the plastic. Okay, so it's been about 30 minutes. So this is some dough that I made earlier that's now proofed. And your dough is actually going to double in size. That's what you're looking for. So I have my little mini pizza pans that I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to. And I'm just going to smear it around with my fingers just to make sure it gets all over the pan. And then I'm going to take out our piece of dough. So the dough is going to lose a little bit of its air, but while it's doing that, just kind of give it a stretch. Once you have it semi to the shape of the pan that you're going to put it on, go ahead and put it on there. And just use your hands to push it out to the edge the rest of the way. So these are our crusts, so let's dress them up. So the first thing we're going to add is, of course, our base sauce, which is barbecue. And you can use whatever is your favorite barbecue sauce. Just keep in mind not to use too much. Because if you use a lot, it's going to keep your pizza really wet. And we don't want any of the toppings to fall off. And you only want to put sauce almost to 1/2 of an inch to the edge of your pizza. Next, we're going to add the cheese. So we're having a mixture of mozzarella and shredded cheddar. And this is a sharp cheddar cheese. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some of our chicken, and then the onions. We're going to do a sprinkle of some red onion. And that's it. So before you bake, and before you even start this process, I want you to turn your oven on as high as you can get it. So my oven right now can go up to 550 degrees, and I want your oven as hot as you can get it. It's going to make your pizzas more crispy on the bottom as well as on the edges. And it should only take no more than 8 minutes for them to bake. So our pizzas are done. They're nice and decorated. Let's get them in the oven. This is it. Our pizzas are out of the oven. They look wonderful and they smell great. Just make sure you add a little bit of fresh black pepper and a tiny pinch of salt to the top. And they are ready to go. Slice them up and enjoy. I hope you love this pizza crust recipe as well as the barbecue chicken pizza. And I can't wait for you to come down and visit me at the Southern Food and Beverage Museum.